Hey, good morning, everyone. I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. And I was hoping that possibly at midnight, New Year's, that possibly some of us that have been targeted through DHS, through the FISA court, uh, might have been possibly taken off whatever list it is that we're on, and the organized stalking and harassment would stop. And that's a possibility, but Uh, I was basically notified this morning that hasn't happened for me. One of the things that the neighbors, the perpetrator neighbors, will do to let me know that I'm monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is the moment that I get out of bed and my feet touch the ground, one of the vehicles in the house from the people that have harassed me in person, either these next door neighbors right here, there's the next door neighbor on the other side, and then the people right on the other side of that. One of those people will fire. They've got like a truck with a loud muffler, loud exhaust, uh, kind of like my truck, which I have nothing against loud exhaust. But the moment that I wake up, they'll fire their truck up, and it's not that it's coincidentally happening. Like once it'll happen every once in a while. They will do it every morning, every time you wake up. Right when you wake up, vroom, fire the truck up. If it happens one time, you just think, oh, well, that's kind of coincidental. Two times it happens, you're like, huh, well, that happened again. That's kind of interesting. After the 10th day of that happening, of the moment that you wake up, the moment your feet touch the ground, they start their truck up. That happens. I grab my phone, I go downstairs, uh, bring the trash can in, and the moment that you go outside, they do this thing called same time entry and exit. The moment that you go outside, they've got to have your next door neighbor go out at the exact same time and do some random event. So I got to take my trash out, and of course the next door neighbors here that were they're having like a party last night. It's New Year's Eve. That's normal. They're supposed to be doing that. They were doing fireworks. I went out there and enjoyed some of the fireworks they were doing. Not with them, but just in the backyard watching some of them. The fireworks, not them. And the lady's got to run out to her car at the same time that I go out there, in the exact same time, and just put something in her car. And it sounds really weird, like, well, how does that bother you? It lets you know that you were being monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then when you try to explain it to people, they say, oh, well, you're just being paranoid. If this were to happen to you, and you knew that you were being monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you wouldn't like it. Knowing that in your own home somebody is paying attention to you all of the time, well, it's none of their business. When you're sleeping, when you're going to the bathroom, when you're working, when you're talking to your family on the phone, when you're doing anything that you're doing, they're letting you know that you're being watched. So when I got home from court, I went to drop off the motion. I filed a motion with the court to go back to be seen by the court. I came in here. This is Hats Around the World. This is my business, my eBay store with over 15,000, around 15,000 items now. I think we're a little less than that. And this is how I've paid my bills for the last few years, last 5 years. I've been on eBay for about 10 years, but just doing these hats. Anyway, I get home and these lights that I installed a couple years ago, I've never had an issue with them. Put them up on the ceiling right there so I could see my hats. And you see there's only one back there. When I got home from court, these lights were off. Well, you're only seeing one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. They had been unplugged. So I had to go back to the end down here and plug this back in. So now this morning, this could just be a coincidence, who knows, but this morning I wake up and two of my lights are laying on the floor. Now these, I paid about $100 a piece for these lights. There's 6 of them I paid. Yeah, with tax, almost $700 for all these lights. So I can see what I'm doing in here. So I have a well-lit work area, but as you can see, these things are laying on the floor, and all of the wiring on the inside of this one is hanging out. This has come off, so looks like a piece is broken off here. There's no reason those should be off. Nobody ever touches these. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna plug those back in, see if they work. The only plausible explanation that I can think of why these would be laying on the floor is I've been running the heater a little bit the last, I don't know, few days. The vibration from the heater could have knocked these off, but I have them, that or, no, yeah, that's the only thing, because it doesn't look like any of the screws in the ceiling actually came out. Oh, yeah, looks like one did here. So screw there, and it looks like this one came out. So, but that doesn't, I don't know, just doesn't make any sense. I come home from court, when in my court video I said, well, let's see how I'll be punished. This is the kind of thing they do. Like in Stasi Germany, the East Germans had something called Zersetzung, and it was total deterioration, devastation of your life, and they used psychological operations like breaking into your house and basically just messing with your stuff, moving things around, destroying things in your home. Everything that's done is done with plausible deniability, and if you try to go to the police and explain what's going on, you sound crazy. Like, who would get in your house and try to unscrew some lights? That doesn't make any sense. Well, when it happens every single day for years and years and years, you're constantly fixing something that's broken. You're constantly working on something that's been sabotaged, vandalized, damaged, mail stolen. There's always something that takes time, that is irritating, that is done, and it's a small thing, but it's like in Sun Tzu, The Art of War, let's see, what is it? Death by 1,000 paper cuts, or death by 1,000,000 paper cuts, whatever the name is of that. And it's just something small over and over and over and over, to where all those small things turn into one big thing, and you become very frustrated over time. So just wanted to document that I wake up today and my lights for my my hat area here are laying on the floor, broken. All right, everybody have a good New Year 2020.